Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie. And this is a lifestyle news show. We don't do politics and we don't do war. It's a lot of happy, well, not all happy. We do earthquakes and we do hurricanes and weather and fun stories and lighthearted stories to sad. So we'll get off with a start with our weather. Oh boy, looky there. Uh, looky there. Another storm that may be going over the islands once again. The track on it goes out to the Atlantic, so we really don't have to worry much about it. But here we go.
The tropics are quiet right now, but you may have heard some rumors about something potentially developing the week of Halloween. The Climate Prediction Center is saying there is greater than a 40% chance that a tropical system could form in this red shaded area between October 30th through November 5th. The warm water temperatures could certainly support development, but there are many other factors at play as well. Bottom line, we are not surprised if we see tropical development in this location this time of year, but there are lots of unknowns this far out in time. It is way too early to know if anything will develop, and if it does, where it will go. No need to panic. Just be sure to.
So more hurricanes up until the end of November. So uh, getting closer to Halloween. Halloween, yes. Karen, you going to go trick or treating? I would love to. I just put a little mask on and I'm short enough that I go for a tall kid. I used to do that with my kids so I could get my own candy. So, boy, I look rough today. It's been a hard week. All right, we got some recalls, folks, and this is alarming, and it's to the point where the State Department now is saying that um, they're now starting to get very concerned. Just now, oh, well, it's because of a fire department caught on fire. But let me go over these recalls. Um, what it is, I'm at the way at the bottom of my list here. Wait till you hear this. It's just about every single car now. Ram, Dodge, Kia, General Motors, Hyundai, um, Toyotas, Fords, um, all recalled. They say close to 100,000 of these cars are going to be recalled. And what for? Well, the Hyundai recall is for fire risk. Then they say GM recall for turn signal issue. Um, Kia recall for instrument panel display failure and possible fires. Harley Davidson recall for loss of brake function. Yeah, they catch on fire and the brakes don't work on these cars. And I have never seen so many recalls for cars ever. My uncle worked for I want to say Ford, and I bet he's turning in his grave, folks. I really do think so. Dodge Hornet, Alto Romero, um, vehicles for brake pedal failure. Ram 1500 recall for rear view mirror detachment, possible fires. And so I'm going to go with that. So what got the State Department so concerned? Well, an electric emergency vehicle belonging to the fire department, Germany, caught on fire and burnt down a new fire station. Wasn't even here, but all of our trucks here, they're making go electric. Everything is going to these electric vehicles. Now, folks, is it too soon? Is it too soon? I mean, I don't mind the electric vehicles coming out, but they should have done a lot of testing. Just don't throw them out on the market. Wow. This fire occurred on the 16th, and it started from what contained lithium ion batteries and an external power connection. The blaze destroyed nearly a dozen emergency vehicles and caused $21 million in damage. It burnt the station down. It burnt the station down, folks. So now we're starting to take a look at, wait a minute, and it hasn't happened just here for like this to happen. Houses are catching on fire here and burning. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get away from that. How about let's go for some glow in the dark petunias? What do you think, Karen? I seen this. I thought, man, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Um, Keith Wood, he's a PhD, spent most of his career in the pharmaceutical research and molecular and chemical biology, using work with um, luminescence to understand how molecules interacted with diseases. Well, what he got out of it was a petunia that glows in the dark. Let me show you guys this. They will be on the market, he said, within the next few years. I would like to get some, wouldn't you, Karen? Put out in the yard. I think these are cool. And petunias are very pretty flowers. So, all right, red tide. You know, I have done red tide before. It's in Florida, and the red tide looms off the Florida west coast. Recent water samples and satellite images show the red tide blooms offshore from Florida's Tampa Bay. And recent, uh, so, oh boy, folks, and they're starting to feel that this is very dangerous waters. They really are, and that they don't want people to be careful with the drinking water around the Gulf and around where you see this red water. All right, let me get this up here. Oh boy, we got girls. We got girls. No, we didn't. We don't need Taylor Swift. No. Well, people might like her, but that's okay. I need to get rid of her. 20 years ago. Well, not yeah, 20 years ago, in 2004, folks, was the Nagata quake. If you remember, this was in Japan. It was one of the worst earthquakes. They had another one in 2011, but this one here, 20 years ago, and it's today. I brought it up for Earthquake Story. And some 100 people attended the ceremony. They made a big ceremony out of this today, folks. And the memories to the next generation to learn more about the earthquakes to where it doesn't affect Japan. A silent prayer was occurred, and local elementary schools of everybody just got into the 20-year anniversary. And they set it at 5:56 because that's when the earthquake occurred. It left 68 people dead and 4,800 others injured. Huh. All right. If you're out in California, folks, and you live around Fresno, they're asking for help in a time of need. The community shelter has reached its full capacity, and the organization is looking for individuals interested in adopting or fostering dogs to ease the overcrowdedness. And they're really needing the help, folks. Karen, you remember Fat Bear contest? Remember the Fat Bear? Last year I put all the nominees up. I didn't catch it this year, but they have got a winner. Fat Bear, because one of the bears that was in the lead killed a cub. So, yeah. Alaska's Fat Bear contest winner finishes ahead of the bear that killed her cub. Yes, she sure did. Um, and the vote went to Grazer. Won her second Fat Bear contest Tuesday by defeating the male behemoth that killed her cub in the summer. How could a male? I think they meant female. All right, Grazer beat Chunk, because I think it was Chunk that we all liked, by 40,000 votes. Um, and if you want, just go to Fat Bear Week, and you can see all the bears and all the neat things that they do if you got a thing for bears. All right, new telescope first images, blast from the sun. Um, wow, yeah, really. Take a look. This don't have music. So a telescope, and I bet you what I heard in some of the explanations on some of the other publications was that it will be a lot better view of solar flares. Solar flares. All right, the lakes. Now, if you're over there in the Sahara, over there in Egypt, some didn't even know this until now that we have drones, folks, and everybody's flying drones over places that haven't been seen before. And we're starting to discover uh, strange new places, strange new artifacts, even water in the desert. And I thought this was very interesting. Here we go. So if you're in the Sahara, look, the camels actually get some water. That's how I look at it. Now, how cool is that? Water in the Sahara. And then they said it will eventually dry up, but maybe not. Maybe we're starting to see something, and maybe the Sahara will have lakes. It was once covered in water. McDonald's. Oh yeah, McDonald's. A link to an outbreak in multiple states of E. coli, and it's left one person dead, and most sick people are reporting the quarter pounders at McDonald's is the issue. Um, it looks like it's basically Oregon, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and Nebraska. Um, so just the CDC is going to investigate the 49 illnesses in 10 states. Links to the quarter pounder. Uh, I know what Karen's going to say. She don't eat that junk. Um, but yeah, it's here. I'll show you. Um, all right, here's the food safety alert. McDonald's temporarily stopped selling the quarter pounders in some states. Seek health care if you have severe symptoms. Diarrhea and fever over 102, vomiting, and signs of dehydration. So, no more quarter pounders for a while. We can do without them. Get a Big Mac. Yeah. No. Oh boy. Um, okay. So we got some really strange, folks, really strange news that came out this week. And well, get this. The Wilmington, North Carolina authorities say a man crashed his vehicle into another car, got out. He stripped naked. Then he fired a gun into the air and ran off in the woods. Okay. Um, this The driver was speeding down a major Wilmington street Thursday night when he crashed. Brewer said the man fired a gun 4 or 5 times in the air before fleeing in the nearby woods, but then returned to get his clothes back. Okay, okay. Uh, got skunks in your home? Here's another weird one. Don't use a smoke bomb. Okay. Well, authorities say a man destroyed a suburban Detroit home while trying to use a smoke bomb to rid a crawl space of skunks. Uh, the man's attempt sparked a fire that quickly spread from the crawl space to the first floor, eventually spread through the walls and the attics of a rental property. Wasn't even his house. The department advises people not to use that as pest control. Okay. Um, and then this week in Greensburg, PA, student calls 911 from school, says he was sleepwalking. Oops. A middle school canceled classes after a student who said he was sleepwalking was found inside the building. Um, the seventh grade student called 911 Wednesday to report he was inside Wendover Middle School in the Hempfield Township. The student told the authorities he'd been sleepwalking and woke up inside the school and entered through a window and wandered around for 15 minutes. Okay. The thing about it, this student was connected to a threat earlier this week, and he threatened a female student to kill her with a shooter. Hmm. Uh, and guess what? At Las Vegas Airport, you are now allowed to dump all your marijuana before you get on the flight, and they won't even charge you for it. They're going to create a station that you can get rid of all your drugs before you get on the plane. Oh, isn't that fun? All right. And so, folks, that's it for today. A very short show. We got me and William coming up on the next hour with world news. And I think I told him the wrong time. I think I told him we were going on now. But anyway, we have trivia on Friday. So look forward to that. I'm feeling pretty good as long as I keep doing the shows the way we're doing them. But for the most part, I'm doing okay. So, all right, before I start coughing again, I'm sorry. Um, with that, like and subscribe and hit the thumbs up and share the show. It's not that long of a show. It's packed full of really good stuff. And yep, a guy crashes and strips his clothes off and runs in the woods. Okay, I've heard of weirder things. So with that, have a nice evening, folks. And share the show. And come on back if you want to watch the world news. We're glad you're watching. Thank you, big time. So, and I thank everyone big time over there in Facebook land with Hellions, Holes, and Poles, and Investigator News, or Investigators, it's called. So, all right, folks. See you Friday if you don't do the world news for trivia. I gotta get this.